This high-def Doppler is still showing some scattered downpours in the North Bay with a second round of heavy rain on the way. We're keeping an eye on rising rivers. This is a live look at the Napa River near the Zinfandel Lane Bridge. The Napa River nearby at St. Helena is expected to crest tomorrow just above flood stage. Just a chance of minor flooding.
We have a team of reporters covering the damage from flooding to mudslides, but let's begin with Chief Meteorologist Paul Diano. And Paul, a lot of rain in a short amount of time, and we're not done.
You're exactly right. That was kind of round one, what we had this morning. Pretty significant round of rainfall. Round two is moving into the North Bay right now. Let's take a look. The rain is picking up. Here we go again, Marin County. You got up to 4 inches of rainfall in the past 24 hours. Plan on 2 or 3 more inches of rainfall over the next 24 hours. Moderate rain returning to San Rafael, Corte Madera, almost to Mill Valley. Novato and Petaluma, light rain with heavier stuff coming. Santa Cruz Mountains. We're hearing reports of numerous slides along Highway 17. There's a reason why it's still raining, and some rain making it down to Morgan Hill and South San Jose. And you look at a 3-hour time lapse here, you can see just to our south and west, there is the atmospheric river, a thin band of heavy rainfall, but it is squarely aimed right at the San Francisco Bay Area. Look at the rainfall since yesterday. Kentfield, more than 4 inches of rain. Ben Lomond in the Santa Cruz Mountains, nearly 4 inches. Santa Rosa, 3.5 inches. San Francisco, new daily rainfall record today, more than 2 inches of rain. Orinda, almost 2.5. And San Jose, because of the rain shadow, only 1/4 of 1 inch of rain. That's amazing considering what's happening just to your south and west. Here's that next round of heavy rainfall. It comes in overnight once again. It is pouring, but mainly in the North Bay or about San Mateo and Hayward and points north, which includes some of the East Bay and also the city of San Francisco. We're wet for the morning commute and will stay showery throughout the day. Flash flood watch continues through tomorrow morning. There are numerous flood warnings. One I wish to highlight for you, the Guadalupe River will likely rise above flood stage tomorrow morning with a crest of 8.6 feet. Minor flooding is likely there. So another round of heavy rainfall coming tonight. Also plan on hearing a rumble of thunder or two. There are scattered thunderstorms in our forecast. That's a rare occurrence, and a soggy morning commute is very likely come tomorrow morning. It's a big storm, and we're not done yet. We'll talk about what happens after the storm, because amazingly the rain's not done after that. We'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes.
All right, Paul, thank you. Let's get you now to KPIX 5's Susie Steimel with flooding happening right now in the North Bay. Susie?
Well, Veronica, I'm standing on Stony Point Road in Petaluma. This has been closed all day. You can see why. It's because it's one of 21 roads in Sonoma County that is closed right now due to flooding. And emergency crews wanted us to get one message out today, and it's that if you see a road like this, don't try to cross it, turn around. Whenever it floods in the North Bay, you can count on 2 things: that certain roads will turn into rivers, and that some drivers will try to ford them and fail. In this case, we caught a driver stalled on Rohnert Park Expressway and called 911 on her behalf. Emergency crews are begging people to obey the signs.
The last thing we'd want to have to do is respond to somebody that decided to try and drive through a road closed sign in a flooded area, and that draws a lot of our resources away from their needs.
Paul Lowenthal with Santa Rosa Fire Department says these types of calls are happening all around Sonoma County today. Fortunately, this is the worst of it right now, but he's preparing for the next round when the wind picks up.
That's a concern of ours. Grounds are saturated with the winds this evening. We anticipate we'll have some additional trees down, and then the potential for power outages here locally.
That's PG&E's concern too.
The ground gets soaked, the trees start to weaken and topple over, and that's when we can see more damage and more outages.
So far, emergency crews will describe the North Bay storm as a nuisance. You're seeing the usual road closures and several inches of rain already.
I think that it is crazy that it's been raining this much.
Allie Bowser is only 6, but offering some sage advice for drivers. So what should people do?
They should slow down and make sure that they're following the speed limits.
Smart young girl we talked to earlier today, and she's right. She wants people to slow down and be careful out there driving. If you look out here live in Petaluma, you can see the wind is starting to pick up. It's starting to push the water. It's the first time that we've felt the wind this strong all day, and that is what PG&E was talking about in that story you just saw. They're worried about how that's going to impact the saturated ground and the trees as that wind continues to pick up. Veronica?
All right, Susie, thanks.
In Santa Cruz County, a landslide is blocking all southbound lanes of Highway 17 at Sugarloaf Road. You see rocks still tumbling down after that hillside gave way. The southbound traffic just squeaking by in a left turn lane. That backup now stretches for 3 miles, and no word yet when the lanes are going to reopen. Just outside Los Gatos, a landslide has been oozing mud all day long. It's blocking about a 6.5-mile stretch of Hicks Road near Pheasant Road. Now, crews say the cleanup depends largely on how much longer the atmospheric river is going to hammer the Bay Area. Earlier today, we had a chance to ask an expert about all the saturated soil across the Bay Area.
Usually smaller, more shallow landslides or mud flows can occur even when it's not raining on the outside, because the water is still present in the soil. And that water being present in the soil means the soil can move during or after a rain event.
Now, the professor says good drainage, healthy vegetation, the best defense against sliding hills.
The Guadalupe River is flowing strong in San Jose. A flood warning's been issued for a section of the river north of the Albanin Expressway. Also, some flooding this afternoon in Marin City. Take a look at this. Drivers having to slow down along Donahue Street and Drake Avenue. The city posted flood signs because of those flooded lanes. Also some flooding in San Francisco. The streets around the Alameda Farmers Market and the Bernal Heights area saw a couple of inches of water. Nearby on-ramps to Highway 101 were closed for a time this afternoon.